Hello everybody, good morning. Hope you all are doing well and getting the things, understanding the things in the digital learning. So, we are in the last chapter of this session, that is the administration of the state. In the last module, I have forwarded you a video in which you have already understood the introduction part or the basics of this chapter. Okay, so in India, the government functions at the three levels: central, state, and the local. Okay, like the other democratic forms of the government, the state government also consists of the three branches: the legislature, executives, and the judiciary. Okay. In the last video, you have also seen that as in the union government, there is a prime ministers and the president. In the same way, in the state administration, the main authority on whose name the government work is the chief minister, and the highest authority of the state is governor. Now, why we actually need the state government? See, India is a huge country of having 28 states and the 9 union territories. Okay, so distribution of power between the center and state has to be provided, and it is provided from the constitution for the smooth functioning of the country, because to manage such a vast country by sitting at one place is actually not that much influencing. Okay, it doesn't work so smoothly, and it is difficult to put eye on everything when the country is vast. And that's why in India the government works at the three level. Okay, and in the state also, for the proper working of the administration of the government, it works at the three level, as like in the central government, that is legislative, executives, okay, and judiciary. Now you can see here that this is a picture of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly. Now at the time of the independence in 1947, as there was a three level of the government, that is the central, state, and then local. So all the state has a two house, like it is in the center, like Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the state also there is a two house, that is Legislative Council and Legislative Assembly. But gradually people found that the state administration can also run only with the help of the legislative assembly. So there are many states in the India that doesn't have the legislative council. Gujarat is also a state where there is only a legislative council, and this is the picture of the legislative assembly of Gujarat. Its name is Vittalbhai Patel Bhavan or the Graha. Okay, and in Gujarat Legislative Assembly there is 182 seats. What does actually this means? Means in the Legislative Assembly 182 members who are elected by the people of the Gujarat sits there and represent the people of Gujarat. Okay. Now, how the government is formed? So after the election, the legislative assembly, election of the legislative assembly, the political party whose MLA won more than half number of the constituency means seats. For example, if we take Porbandar is a constituency, okay, so from here all the members of the party who is contesting in the election, for example the member of the BJP, member of the Congress, member of the BSP, okay, so different party contest for the election, and whose member got elected will sit in the Gujarat Legislative Assembly. So Porbandar is a constituency, Junagadh is a constituency, Rajkot is a constituency. So this this MLA represents that constituencies actually. Okay, and the party which win more of these constituency get the more number of the seats. Okay, so the party which get more than the half. Okay, suppose it is 182, so what will be the half? It's 91. Yeah, so more than half means more than 91. If any party is having the member, then governor call them first to make the government. Okay, and if any party doesn't get majority, that is more than half of the number of the seats, then the different party get together, and this is how they combine, so the seat increases and then they gain the majority, and that is called the coalition government. Okay, now the governor, like the president at the center, governor is a constitutional head of the state. He is appointed by the president of the country. Okay, he appoints the chief ministers and the other members of the council of the ministers. He appoints the advocate general and the other officers of the state. Every bill which is framed in the legislative assembly needs to get approved by the governor. He has the right to dissolve the legislature. Okay, ये हम लोग अभी आगे और थोड़ा डीप में पढ़ेंगे. Okay, so this is how the government is formed at the state level. What is the constituency? Every state is divided into the small areas. जो भी स्टेट है उसको छोटे छोटे एरियाज में डिवाइड कर दिया जाता है. ओके, which covers sometime a district or more than one district. Okay, and each such constituency has an elected representative. Okay, and the elected representative of these constituencies are known as the MLA or the member of the legislative assembly. After every 5 years, election is announced for the state. Political parties nominate their contestant for each constituency. All the members of the legislative assembly are elected on the basis of the adult franchisee, means through the voting. And who vote? Who all are more than 18 years. Okay, and one member is elected for the constituency. उसमें से कंटेस्ट तो बहुत सारे करते हैं, बीजेपी, कांग्रेस, बीएसपी, आप पार्टी, बहुत सारे, बट कोई एक मेंबर जीतता है जिसको सबसे ज्यादा वोट मिलता है. ओके, या सो नाउ वी विल सी द फंक्शंस ऑफ द एमएलएज. जो एमएलएज होते हैं उनके क्या फंक्शंस हैं? सो आफ्टर द इलेक्शन, chief ministers and the councils of the ministers are collectively responsible for the administration of the state. जैसे ही इलेक्शन कंप्लीट हो जाता है, कोई मेजॉरिटी पार्टी होती है, वो अपना गवर्नमेंट बना लेती है, तो फिर चीफ मिनिस्टर और द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स का काम होता है स्टेट को गवर्न करना, उसको चलाना. In the legislative assembly, all the MLAs belonging to both the ruling party and the opposition. अब जिसको मेजॉरिटी मिलती है वो रूलिंग पार्टी होती है, जिसको मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिलती है वो अपोजिशन होते हैं, मीन्स वो अपोजिट बैठते हैं लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली में. सो दे आर कॉल्ड द अपोजिशन पार्टी. एंड द अपोजिशन assembles for the discussion. Where they assembles? In the legislative assembly. Many MLAs also have the dual responsibility as an MLA and as a ministers. Okay, कुछ कुछ MLAs की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दुगनी होती है. Why? Because they also look after the progress of their constituency and they also look after the work of the portfolio or the ministry they are getting. Suppose अगर कोई पोरबंदर का MLA है और उसके पास फॉर एग्जाम्पल पेट्रोलियम मिनिस्ट्री है, तो उसको ये दोनों काम देखना पड़ेगा. सो दे आर हैविंग द डुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. MLAs कैन एक्सप्रेस देयर व्यूज ड्यूरिंग द क्वेश्चन आवर. जैसे ही असेंबली स्टार्ट होती है, सो द टाइम पीरियड फ्रॉम 11 to 12 o'clock is called the question hour. At that time they can put the questions, they can ask the questions, they can give the suggestions. Okay, and the speaker who manages the assembly requires his or her permission before presenting anything. So MLA always require a permission of the Speaker of the Assembly to present either the question or the suggestion. And who is the Speaker of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly? Rajendra Trivedi. Okay, so Rajendra Trivedi is the Speaker of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly. Now we will see the functions of the various heads of the state. So first we will see the function of the governor. So governor is a constitutional head of the state, as a president is the constitutional head of the country. Now what are its functions? He invites the leaders of the majority party sorry, to form the government. He also administer, means जब पता चल जाता है कि कौन सी पार्टी गवर्नमेंट बनाने वाली है, तो एक दिन they used to fix a day on which they used to take the oath on the name of the constitution, okay, that they will govern the state as per the rules and regulation of the constitution. They will follow the constitution. Okay, so the governor also administers the oath ceremony. Then he also calls the legislative assembly session. जो legislative assembly का कौन कौन सा session कितने कितने दिन के होने वाले हैं, that also is managed by the governor. He also announces the adjournment, means कब session खत्म होगा, that is also decided by the governor with the ruling party. Okay, every bill passed by the legislative assembly, जो भी legislative assembly के through bill pass होता है, they require the assent of the governor. However, money bill require his prior approval. अगर कोई money bill you have to pass from the legislative assembly, then it requires the prior permission of the government rather than after passing through the legislative assembly, it's required the assent of the governor. Okay, a bill undergoes the 3 readings. Okay, following this, it is sent to the governor to become a law. If the governor doesn't sign the bill, then it is sent back to the Vidhan Sabha, and then MLA has to discuss, debate on the suggestions given by the governor. The revised bill is again sent to the governor for his signature. In an emergency, the governor can issue the order which is known as ordinance. Emergency कोई condition होती है तो उसमें governor order issue करते हैं, जिसको क्या कहा जाता है, ordinance. He appoints the judges of all the court who work under the high court. Informs the president about the functioning of the state government. So governor has also responsibility to report the administration or the working of the state government to the president. Okay, so these all are the functions of the governor. Functions of the chief minister. The chief minister is the head of the council of the ministers. Okay, जो अलग अलग मिनिस्टर्स डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट संभालते हैं, उनका हेड कौन होता है, चीफ मिनिस्टर, इसीलिए उसका नाम चीफ है. ओके, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पोजीशन इन दी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. जैसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेंटर में है, वैसे ही चीफ मिनिस्टर स्टेट में है. द होल गवर्नमेंट रन अंडर हिज नेम. ओके, ही इज ऑल्सो नोन एज द सीएम. एंड द फंक्शंस ऑफ द चीफ मिनिस्टर आर अलॉटिंग द वेरियस पोर्टफोलियोज टू द डिफरेंट मिनिस्टर. कौन सा डिपार्टमेंट किस मिनिस्टर को जाएगा, किस एमएलए को जाएगा, वो कौन डिसाइड करता है, सीएम. फॉर द इफेक्टिव एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, कॉलिंग फॉर द मीटिंग टाइम टू टाइम इन काउंसिल्स ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स की मीटिंग लेना, उनसे पूछना कि उनके डिपार्टमेंट का वर्क कितना है, क्या प्रोग्रेस है, कौन सी स्कीम कैसे चल रही है. देन टू सुपरवाइज द वर्क ऑफ एवरी मिनिस्टर्स एंड देन टू गाइड देम. इन्फॉर्मिंग द गवर्नर about the decision taken by the council of minister. So chief minister reports to the governor and the governor reports to the president. Okay, forming a new council of ministers if necessary. If suppose sometime the CM or the chief minister feels that there needs a more portfolios, then he can increase the number of the council of ministers also. The Council of the Ministers frames the policy, okay, for allotted subjects or the department related to the state governments and the executive. And what this Council of the Minister does, they actually make the policies, okay, and that policy is introduced as a bill in the Legislative Assembly. The Finance Minister of the state introduced the budget of the state in the Legislative Assembly. जैसे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बजट लाती है एवरी ईयर, वैसे ही स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर होता है वो भी बजट लेकर आता है इन द स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली. ओके, नाउ for the smooth functioning of the country, we have a 3 level of the government, is it? Central, state and the local. But then how to know that which subject is administered by the state, which is administered by the union or the central government? Okay, so there are certain lists provided by the constitution that certain things or the certain subjects are dealt by the union government, state government, and there are also certain subjects which is need to be managed by both state and central government. See, so the functions and the power of the central and the state government are divided into the 3 lists, and this list is the union list, state list and the concurrent, means जहाँ पे दोनों काम करे, that is the concurrent list. Okay, let's see the union list. There are 97 subjects in the list of the union which is only governed by the central government or the union government. There are 66 subjects which is in the state list which are done by the state government. Then there are the 47 subjects which are need to be regarding the of these 47 subjects, the law are framed both by the central government and the state government. Now let's have a glance of these subjects. In the union list, if we will see, then it is a census, means the population, relation with the foreign countries, and that's why you may see that chief minister don't visit to the foreign countries leader. It's a PM who go to the foreign countries for the relation, for the different trade. Okay, then the defense, then the finance and the banking, election, then the formation of the law for the citizenship, then the postal services, railway, road, sea route are all included in the central list. Okay, and also the nuclear power. Then the list of the states or the subjects in the state list are the health, agriculture, forest and the local self-government. Then the concurrent list is comprised of the prevention of the crime, then the revenue or the tax, divorce, literacy, industry, employment, electricity, etc. are included in this list. अब जैसे कि डिफेंस इफ वी विल टेक, तो जो कंट्री का डिफेंस है उसके रिगार्डिंग कोई लॉ बनाना, कोई पॉलिसी बनाना किसका काम है? सिर्फ सेंट्रल का. ओके, स्टेट कांट मेक एनी लॉ और द पॉलिसी रिगार्डिंग द डिफेंस. In the same way, if we take the taxation system or the revenue system, then both the state and the union combinedly make a law for it. Okay, so I think now this concept is quite clear to all of you. Okay, so this is how the state administration works in the India. So we have actually seen the Gujarat in this prospect. There are the other states of India also which work in the same way. Okay. Good day students. If any query, please you can post your questions in my WhatsApp.